Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hope you've had a great day. We have, and we're just going to continue here. This time I'll call the Paulding County Board of Commissioners regular meeting, August 27th, 2019, to order. I'd like to welcome any guests. I don't see any elected officials in our audience this evening. Brian, if you'll bring forward the list of citizens wishing to speak, and got your cell phones on, this will be a good time to silence them. Yes, sir. We start out our meetings with an invocation or a thought, and I've asked my assistant to just bring us something on her heart tonight, and after she does that, then Will here in the scout uniform is the senior patrol officer for Boy Scout Troop 25, and then they'll bring us the pledge to the flag. Stand if you're able.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, it gives me honor to stand before you and pray the peace prayer of St. Francis. We don't know the author of this classic prayer, and it was in 1920 that was ascribed to St. Francis, but one thing's for certain, it emulates his longing to be an instrument of peace, reconciliation, and redemption in our fallen world. Let's bow our heads, please. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me show love. Where there is error, truth. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is given that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in self-forgiving that we find. And it is in dying to ourselves that we are born to eternal life. Let all God's children say, Amen.
Color guard attention. Forward march. Left face. Post colors. Salute. Pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard form ranks. Left face. Forward march.
Thank you, Boy Scout Troop 25, and I don't even remember if I said Angela's name. It's Angela Ferris is my assistant. Thank you so much for bringing that to us, Angela. Under minutes, we have action to adopt the August 13th, 2019 work session minutes, and also the August 13th, 2019 board meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion? Motion approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. We have no announcements this evening, no invited guests. Under bid awards, number 1 is action to award the construction contract for the Ridge Road, Cochran Store Road, and Bob Hunton Road roundabout project to the lowest responsive bidder, Bartow Paving, in the amount of $1,894,934.11. It's in post 2 and 3. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion approved by Commissioner Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 2 is action to award the purchase of stream mitigation credits required for the Richland Creek Reservoir project up to 30,597.4 stream credits, which would be needed in post 4. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Stover. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hart. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 3 is action to award the contract for timber harvesting associated with the Richland Creek Reservoir project to the lowest responsive bidder, the Triple J Logging, in the amount of $1,202,884 in post 4. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Stover. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Davis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Bid award number 4 is action to award the construction contract for the Hangar 1 renovation at the Paulding Airport to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Stryker Contracting, LLC, in the amount of $329,329.00. Post 2. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Caker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stover. Is there any discussion?
It's worth mentioning again, putting the brakes on, pumping the brakes a little bit, taking a step back and doing this a better way to save the county $180,000.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Have no reports from committees and departments this evening. Public participation on agenda items. We have Jonathan Jones to speak on 2019-02-LUP. So we're going to clarify about the skips. Mr. Jones, will come up?
Thanks, Mr. Chair, Board of Commissioners. I appreciate the opportunity. During the hearing today, we agreed to do a 25-foot buffer along the western side of the building to decrease any visibility or negative impact to the adjacent neighbors. But when that was put into an actual, I guess, voluntary stipulation, as it was worded, was down to the entire frontage of Clarice Road, which is definitely not the intent. That would be 1,900 foot of a 25-foot buffer that would cost over $25,000. So I would like for you guys to consider the reality of what the buffer was for, and that was to safeguard the visibility of the proposed building that's going to be on the northeast corner, which will be approximately 1,200 feet away from Clarice Road. So the 25-foot buffer was along the western side of the building, not the entire western property. So if you could possibly consider that modification to the zone stipulation, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Is that, Dave, just, that was 2019-02 LUP? Is that correct?
Yes.
You're talking about stipulation number,
It's number 2. It's number 2. The frontage of Nevo's fine, but it wasn't intended to be the entire frontage of Clarice.
Hey, Jonathan, just a clerical thing. I mean, if I was building, this is his house, correct?
Well, his house is not part of this. This is just the building he's going to put his.
How many acres does it have
He
total?
has 18 total acres. And this is on the northeastern part of the property, which is the furthest portion of the property away from any residential homes, except for what may or may not be approved next door with a potential PRD that's coming in. But he has opted to locate his building as far away from any adjacent neighbors as he possibly could.
What's the, I'm thinking what that looks like now.
It's all wooded except for on the section along Clarice's. kind of like a partial pasture. The rest of it's heavily wooded.
So the portion that he would have to make 25 foot undisturbed is 25 grand. So a lot of it's already,
Yeah, but that, along Clarice, it's not. It's a pasture. So if he had to do a buffer all the way down through there, he'd end up having to plant trees 10 foot on center, 2 rows down through there, so that would be quite a cost. And I think the intent was to buffer the building, because building is not on Clarice Drive, nor does it have access on Clarice Drive. But when the zoning the stipulation was added voluntarily, as it was worded, it was the frontage of Clarice, and that was not the intent.
Okay, we also have Mr. Richard Mayo to speak on 2019-11 SUP.
Hello, Chairman, Board. I was just going to let you know I'm in agreement with all the revised stipulations.
Okay,
That's all I had to say.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Dirk Mayer Balfour to speak on 2019-10 SUP.
Good evening. I just have a couple concerns on the proposed tower being installed basically in my backyard. Was there any environmental studies been performed yet? What kind of impact will it have on wetlands in that area? What kind of plans are in place to minimize the visual impact of the subdivision right across from the proposed location? Do they plan on painting the tower, or is it going to be galvanized tower? From the earlier hearing, I noticed that photos were taken from other locations other than the actual subdivision that would basically butt up against the proposed location. So those are some of my concerns. Obviously, I live there. It's in my backyard, so it's very personal.
Thank you. When we get to that part of the agenda, we'll get staff to answer those questions. Dirk, so.
Okay. So
Any other questions?
Got it.
Thank you. Under consent agenda is action to approve the 2 consent agenda items. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Hart. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Old business number 1 is action to adopt resolution 19-24 confirming executive session at the August 13th, 2019, 2 p.m. Board of Commissioners meeting for the purpose of pending and potential litigation. Do you hear a motion? Motion approved by Commissioner Stover. Is there a second? I'll second. And any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. New business number 1 is action to approve rezoning case 2007-04-Zulu with 22 stipulations located in post 3. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, a couple things. First, I'd asked about assignment of the interests from the LLC that was dissolved by the Secretary of State, and Mr. Rand has provided that. I don't know if you guys are, he sent it to me. I know it's been passed around a little bit, so that was done. I appreciate you getting that for me, Chuck, because I think it's important when if we're going to do this, we need to make sure that we've dotted our i's and crossed our t's legally. to make sure that it's not going to be left open to the challenge. A couple of concerns that I have with doing this, though. Reviving this from 12 years ago, we can't be expected to believe that all the circumstances and the consideration and the discussion around the planning and zoning hearing and the staff analysis in 2007 is identical to what we have today, 12 years later. I think that at the very least it would be worth revisiting. The issue there, though, is that we don't accept applications for PRD, so this can't be treated as a new application because it wouldn't be even accepted as an application because we don't accept the applications for PRDs. But that kind of brings me to my next point, is that we stopped accepting applications for PRD for a reason. And so to say this one's okay, I get legally that I'm not making an argument that this is not being done legally, because I think that, I'm not the lawyer in the room, obviously, but it seems to me that if something's tabled, it can be brought back under an old application. And so with the documentation that Mr. Rand's provided, I'm comfortable that it's being done legally. My concern, though, is that if it's okay here 12 years later for one developer to develop a new PRD, then why is it not okay for every developer to develop a new PRD? And that gotcha, which essentially is what it is, that it's 12 years old and it's an existing application, I think is maybe a poor excuse. So I have some concerns about that. And then there was talk about this morning about this specific developer and private investment in sewer that was made, and he did make a private investment that was a huge benefit to the county. And the board worked last year. The board was working on a deal to extend that sewer, come to an agreement on that, and then it stopped. And then it came back, and it cost us more money after it came back. But we voted on it, and I voted for it because it was the right thing to do. It feels like, and this is just how it feels like we're continuing to try to pay back what's already been done. I would argue that if this were another developer would be told, no, we don't do PRDs anymore. Sorry. And this would be denied or tabled again indefinitely. So I think that if what's the saying, if it smells like trash, it's probably trash. It doesn't pass the sniff test. It feels wrong. And I'm not questioning motives. I'm trying very hard not to do that. I'm just saying how it feels as I approach the issue. So those are the concerns that I have with this. And I can leave it at that, or we can discuss if you all want to.
Ron, absolutely, sir. There's 71 acres of R2 zoning at this point in time, correct? 71, 76, what is it? 71. So, the R2 zoning, we have two units per acre, right? Chris? 2 units per lot, an acre.
R2 is 2 units per acre.
So that's 142 houses that he can do right now with no commercial. To have commercial, which you can go to the Ingles at any point in the day and see, it's not near as busy. They need rooftops. Commercial needs rooftops to come in that we all enjoy, that we all screaming for commercial. So if you don't have rooftops, he could do 142 right now. With the overlay district, it's 142 that he could do along with the 18 acre commercial. So we also need to think about that. When people want to talk about a PRD being such a bad thing, a lot of people live in PRDs and scream that PRDs are bad. But if you go to Mintwater, Seven Hills, some of the nicest subdivisions we have in this county is PRD. So when, and I was okay until you wanted to act like it was trash, like we was doing something under the table.
And I didn't mean to.
I know, but I'm just
the way I
saying,
saw it.
there's not a person up here that I, including yourself, that I would say that. So, and Mr. Charles Brock is one of the finest fellows me and I've ever known. And he's done so much for this county. And for you to even say that about him, that he would kind of fall into that upsets myself also, because that man has done a lot for this county. And sometimes I feel like even myself, I will look down on someone like him when all he's done is try to help. He is a very Christian man. And I just, like I said, if you look at the whole big picture, we had 142 houses with 18 commercial, 142 with nothing.
I appreciate your point of view, and let me clarify, I wasn't trying to say that all PRDs are bad, just that we stopped accepting those applications. Also, certainly can't fault Mr. Broad for walking through doors which left open for him. Can't fault him at all for that. And I wasn't trying to insinuate that he was part of something that was underhanded. And I honestly wasn't accusing anyone on this board of that. I was just stating how it feels to me as I look at it. So I'm sorry if it came across that way.
I would just add, as new board members come on and join the team of commissioners, the board of commissioners, you do see things that have been neglected or not taken care of. And something's been tabled that long in the last meeting, or at least last couple of meetings, we voted to untable it, all of us, unanimously. So we wanted to bring it back up and discuss it like this. So I think it's been a good thing to review and, you know, to see the pluses and minuses of it. How much is it, Chris? It's commercial.
It's 18.3 acres.
It's a great location, a great corner there. And again, as Brian said, that could help that tax imbalance that we're struggling with, so that our taxpayers, our residential homeowners, aren't paying such a lion's share of the tax burdens. It all fits together.
Well, I get what you're saying about growing the commercial side of it, but when you're also growing the residential side of it at the same time, that offset, it's going to be hard to quantify.
Other discussion points? Okay, we have a motion and a second. We've completed the discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Okay.
Motion carries 4-1. New business number 2 is action to adopt resolution 19-26 approving de-annexation of tax parcel 140.3.2.002.0000, post 1. Discuss action to adopt a revision.
I think should have been a line break there. That was the end of the one item.
Can you help me out there, Rebecca?
There should have been, that should be a different one.
So,
Discuss the civil service rules should be number 3, and then correctly go down the list.
Right.
all right.
That should be number 3, but it should be action to adopt.
Okay. Someone's going to read this. The new business number 2 is action to adopt a resolution 19-26 approving de-annexation of tax parcel 140.3.2.002.0000 in post 1. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hart. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. New business number 3 is discuss action to adopt the revision of the civil service rules, chapter 4, recruitment and selection, Section 7, the employment of relatives. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Hart. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Stover. Is there any discussion?
I said it this morning, I think this is a slippery slope, it's bad policy, I don't think we should do it.
There's been a lot of work on this, and you know, I think the county's going to be fine either way. But in my concern for potential favoritism and possibility of some people that might be very highly qualified are not selected for a job, because it's not a perfect world we live in. I'm also opposed to it. So, any other discussion?
I'm really thankful that we did drill down in this, and I hope that it does pass. I'm definitely for it. I've seen the trend in the private sector, and it's always been in the public world. As far as fire departments go, it's been a thing of heritage. We can't do everything we want to do for people sometimes, but I've had multiple people come to me with this request, and I looked into it, because I wouldn't have just pushed this thing if I didn't feel like it wouldn't work and it wouldn't be something good. And I believe we're going to get some good employees out of it. And if we have problems with employees breaking rules, it's not really going to matter. They're kin to us, they're friends. I mean, there's a lot of partialities you can show outside of family. But I respect your position.
Other comments? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Nay. Carries 3-2. New business number 4 is action to approve issuing a notice to proceed with the East Hiram Sewer Improvement Project for John D. Stevens and approve the 30% guaranteed maximum price not to exceed $9,181,364. Let me start over, I'm sorry. Price not to exceed $9,181,364.50 in post 3. Do I hear a motion? Motion to approve by Commissioner Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Davis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 5 is action to approve the amendment to the scope of services with Tetra Tech Incorporated for the Copper Mine WRF treatment capacity expansion project to include reuse pump station upgrades and equipment tax incentives assistance at a total cost of $35,800. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Stover. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. New business number 6 is action to purchase Kubota membranes on quotation number 0814-1-BEC-RO in the amount of $546,980 for the replacement of existing membranes at the county's wastewater treatment plants. Do I hear a motion?
Approved.
Motion approved by Commissioner Stover. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Davis. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. New business number 7 is action to adopt resolution 19-27 requesting that the Federal Aviation Administration release approximately 2.964 acres from federal obligations for the purpose of constructing the new aviation academy. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Caker. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Stover. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. New business number 8 is action to adopt resolution 19-28 confirming executive session for the purpose of pending and potential litigation. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Going to the Planning Commission meeting recommendations. The 2019-13-Z application by Jonathan Jones to rezone approximately 16.265 acres from R2 suburban residential to R55 active adult residential zoning district for age-restricted subdivision development. The property is located in the land lot of 1265, District 3, Section 3, on the west side of Mount Tabor Church Road, west of Holland Road, in Post 1. The recommendation from the Planning Commission was approved at the vote of 6-0-1 with 5 stipulations. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve with the 5 stipulations.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hart. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. 2019-14-Z is application by Job Singh to rezone approximately 0.115 acres from R4 multifamily non-fee simple rental residential district to B1 general business to annex into the city of Hiram and combine to the adjoining 0.454 acre tract to the east, which is zone B1 general business in the city of Hiram. Property is located in land lots 386, 387, 406, and 407, District 2, Section 3, on the north side of Atlanta Highway, east of Cobbler Cove Drive. And that's in Post 1. Recommendation was approval, the vote of 6-0-1 with no stipulations. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. 2019-10 SUP is application by TowerCom V LLC for a special use permit on approximately 45.68 acres for 195 foot, 199 with pertinences, monopole wireless communication facility. Property is located in land lot 1034, District 19, Section 2, the east side of Claiborne Parkway, east of Bennett Post and Post 3. The recommendation was approval, the vote of 6-0-1 with no stipulations.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
can we get Chris Robinson to answer those questions for that gentleman before we make a motion?
Yes, let's do that.
As far as the question about environmental, I know they've done, I think it was a phase 1 environmental that's required for, I think the FCC and just the tire installation itself, they have to do that. As far as screening, I'm assuming that the gentleman is to the subdivision to the north of the site, and that distance is 300 feet. They are proposing to lease about a 3,600 square foot area in the middle, toward the middle of the property, which is approximately 45 acres. And that should provide some screening, at least to the base and to the equipment, that this is at least 300 feet. The requirement for the tower is 100 feet plus the tower height is a setback, which in this case would be 295 feet. So they're exceeding that minimal setback. As far as the color, I would have to refer to the applicant. I'm assuming it's going to be a standard monopole, 195 foot with an antenna across at the top. And
The lady in the back, is not here yet.
yeah, they would be, I would have to refer to it.
Galvanized steel, not painted, is, I think, the question.
You come
You
up
want me
to
to come
the
up? Sure.
microphone, get it recorded. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm Ellen Smith. I have the pleasure of representing the applicant. And I think the question was it going to be painted or galvanized steel? It's planned to be galvanized steel. Typically, frankly, when they're painted, it looks way worse than just regular steel. The other question that I think was asked was whether or not we had looked at any creeks or wetlands. And the answer is yes, we have. And filed with a copy of the application. It's sheet 2 of 3 of the survey shows that we're more than 100 feet outside of the creek, not planning to build in any wetlands, no impact on wetlands whatsoever. But I'm happy to answer that question.
There was a question, Chris may have already answered it, but on the subdivision across the street.
I think there's no special screening planned. As Chris mentioned, it is going to be on a 3,600 square foot portion of the property that's totally surrounded, more than 300 feet away from any property line, more than that to any house off-site. But within all the trees not being taken down, left in. So from a screening standpoint, from the base of tower equipment, you're not going to see it.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, with that additional information, I'll call for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Hart. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Stover. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Did you vote wrong?
I voted in favor.
Quiet vote.
All right, aye.
2019-11 SUP is application by Richard M. Mayo for a special use permit on approximately 35 acres for wedding/reception venue. The property is located in land lots 927 and 964, District 19, Section 3, the north side of Buchanan Circle, east of Old Yorkville Road in Post 2. The recommendation was approval with a vote of 5, 1, and 1 with 7 stipulations. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Cakers. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Stover. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. 2019-02 LUP is the application by Frankie Willingham for a land use permit on approximately 17.9227 acres for a shop for a landscape company and storage area for hardwood trees, fruit trees, and shrubs. The property is located in land lot 1138, District 2, Section 3, the south side of Nebo Road, west of Dallas Nebo Road. It's in Post 3. Do I hear a motion?
Chairman, I want to make a motion to approve the 4 stipulations minus the Clarice Road frontage on number 2. Can we make that change?
Okay, minus the Clarice Road. Okay? We have a motion to approve with that amendment, the Clarice Road requirement for the buffer. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion, Dave.
Second, Commissioner Davis. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. 2019-03 LUP is application by Jonathan D. Robbins for a land use permit renewal on approximately 1.995 acres for a part-time firearm repair business in an accessory structure. The property is located in land lots 227 and 232. The district is 18, section 2, south side of Sleepy Hollow Road, on an easement east of Ralston Road. It's 1004 Sleepy Hollow Road in post 3. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Is there any discussion?
Dave, the only thing I'd like to say is it was kind of cool. Mr. Robbins, he paid a compliment. It's worth saying it again here. He talked about how easy it was to streamline his business. He's been doing this for several years. And he said it's not always been easy. And he really commented on our staffing and how that they had made the process much easier this time. And I just think we need to recognize them for that. Thank you.
And that was a recommendation on approval of 6, 0, and 1 with no stipulations. Do I? We have a motion. All right, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Lastly, 2019-04 LUP is application by Robert Cofield for a land use permit renewal of approximately 8.93 acres for restoration of older hot rods and classic automobiles and accessory structure. The property is located in land lot 889, District 2, Section 3, the northwest side of Rich Davis Road, south of Hiram City Road, at 594 Rich Davis Road in Post 1. Recommendation by the Planning Commission was approval, a vote of 6, 0, and 1 with 3 stipulations. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve with those stipulations.
A motion approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Any discussion?
One quick question for Chris. Chris, none of these stipulations changed from the last time, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. That's the conclusion of regular business tonight and public participation on non-agenda items. We have no one that's signed up, no requirements for executive session. So I think Commissioner Hart and his lovely wife Julie are going to take us out to dinner.
Everybody?
Thanks, Chuck.
Been a good day and a lot of things. Again, appreciate the public's input and involvement. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll go to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Davis, second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Labor on Labor Day. We stand adjourned.